back. It's Uncle Destiny, and it's time for the April reading as we now move into proper spring season. So I want to remind you once again that this is a general reading for everyone. So it's going to cover broad topics, nothing specific to your life, and if need be, you can contact me at my website below. Otherwise, why don't we go ahead and get the ancestors in and see what this new seasonal year has for everybody in the first month of this new seasonal year. So, alrighty. So, as said, anything that goes off the reading surface is not part of the reading. So, what to... So first off, what I'm seeing is certain things are going to be coming to a head this month. And that's most often shown by here, where these two central bones cross each other, as well as there's going to be a divergence, or at least a separation of things that are going to be moving onward, often in a different direction. Now, it may be that they're just needing to be sectioned off for a little while, or more likely they may be going for good. That may be a good thing, that may be a bad thing, depending on what they are. Now, the central bones, these primary three, this one is related to work, this one is related to family, this one is related to home. So, what I see with the work and family aspect, because the copper piece is closest to the actual family bone, so there is a lot of dynamic energy that Spirit is putting into the family situation. This may mean that certain things are happening in such a way that it is more spirit driven than it is physically or emotionally driven. And as such, it's more the subject of what are the lessons that they're supposed to be processing in this lifetime and in this time right now. Are they avoiding lessons, or are they embracing lessons? There's a lot of that going on, and it's cross-sectioning with work as well. So somehow the situation that's going on also involves your work. So it may be that your work is actually forcing someone to reevaluate things, or it may be that they're pushing the idea that there's a choice needing to be made between them and your job. But suffice it to say that this situation isn't so much about you, but more about them and what they're spiritually and emotionally going through. Now, the other support bones that are around here, both the ribs and most of the spinal ones, really say to me that this is about some very core issues. Now, if you recall the readings for this year, one of the big ones was about confronting your identity, and that it needs to change, and that you're going to be confronted with changing that core identity. And this is maybe a very good point where this is going on. Core identities are being challenged, and now forcing people to work on things that they didn't think they had to work on, or that they even were needing to work on. But those things are coming up. And this is spiritually being driven, because it's time for that change. Whatever our next, how we're moving into the age of Aquarius and the new seasonal year and the new cycles and so forth that we're having with this new seasonal year, as well as just energetic year, is calling for things that were in the past cannot continue to be sustained. They need new sustainment. They need new forms so that they can be able to process. And so this is very much about the point where that core identity is up for renewal. And unfortunately, it is also a tumultuous time, because we also have the broken bone here that's in amongst the support bones. Now, it's not directly focused at the work bone, but it follows a parallel position to the family bone. So, yes, this is not going to be a particularly pleasant time around family, at least in this next month. Now, when we get over here to the home bone, which is the one that's off to the side, we've got certain support ones here too. I sense that there's also going to be some shifts and change around home. But as I said, they're going away. Your focus is not going to be focused on that, but the energy is going to be focusing itself elsewhere. So it may mean that with what's going on with your family members, you're not going to be focusing as much on, say, the yard work or painting the house or fixing that broken light fixture. But just as equally, you may be focusing on making a new home elsewhere. So, sadly, some of you may be about to go through a divorce or separation. How can you start setting up a home away from this person who is now changing in a way that you can't be a part of any longer, or doesn't want you to be a part of their life any longer? So there's a sense of that home being shifted away, shifted towards a new location, a new concept of what the home is. Maybe it means that somebody has passed, so therefore your home is now empty of this person's presence. Or new birth as well. You have a new life coming in and shifting away from what home has been. There's also a slight possibility too of relocation. So maybe you're moving across town, maybe across country, maybe across the world. But things are going to be shifting away from what they have been. And this is again tied to that core identity that's also needing to shift. And in some ways, your own core identity is in question. Now, it may not be as strong of a need for you, but it's definitely going to be a strong need for somebody else. Now, next we bring ourselves to the quartz and the crystals and the memories. Now, it's off here to the side, and it has one of the support bones near it. And what this is talking more about reflection and awareness, especially of the past. And that's also a key point in confronting core identity issues that are needing to be shifted. Being aware of what the past has brought, what the past has suggested, what the past has tried to teach you. Now, if you're the classic saying that those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. That means being aware of what history is. We're aware of what the past has been. Aware of how people have interacted and worked with you. Has it always been pleasant? Or are you always frustrated? So, processing and understanding what's going on with the core identity, what's going on with work, what's going on with the changes in your home environment. You need to look at the past and understand it. And I say only look at it. You do not need to go and visit it. You do not need to go back and take residence with it. But you do need to visit it and be aware of it. And the fact that it's coming in toward its position-wise is in parallel to both the home and work bones suggests that there have been precursors to the core changes that need to take place that can be found in the past, let alone also why the core identity came into existence as well, because it's time for it to change. And change will happen whether you want it or not. And you can either make it a painful change or an easy change. But recognizing what the memories in the past have will be a key point to that. So, that is what the ancestors and spirits have to say for you today with the bones and for the month of April. Tune in again for May and we'll see what they have to say for then. This is Uncle Destiny. I wish you well. Have a blessed Easter for those of you who celebrate it. Otherwise, a blessed Aerostar for those of you who practice Wicca faith and the time of fertility. And Ashe.